we're here in the Isabella plantation in Richmond Park. This is my favourite tree. It's the sweet chestnut, or the Castanea sativa. It's a gigantic tree with real purpose. It can live up to 700 years. The flowers are fantastic for pollinating insects. The fruits are a great food source for all forms of wildlife that we have within the park, and for humans too. And the deadwood can provide all sorts of habitat as well for wildlife. It's a tree that could be great for the future. It was actually brought over by Romans from a warmer climate. So as our temperatures rise locally, it might be one of those trees that really thrives. It's widely used in timber production and craft, so it's just a brilliant all-rounder really. And the bonus that we get to eat the chestnuts too.
So we are in Kensington Gardens, and this is a hornbeam tree. And hornbeams are my favourite tree because they're really London's tree. They're kind of emblematic of London for me because they grow on clay, which is what the kind of soil most of London has. So even though they're less recognised than, say, a London plane, for me they are the tree of London. And they're just such beautiful trees. They have this beautiful muscular bark going up the trunk, and the leaves go into so many different colours. When the leaves first come out in spring, they're this beautiful acid green, and then they turn into this yellow colour in the autumn as well. Their seed heads are also really beautiful. They almost look like little pagodas as they come down, as they slowly open up to release the seeds. They're called samaras. So all of that make hornbeam my favourite tree.
We're at Bushy Park. We're in the Woodland Gardens, the Pheasantry Walk, and this is my favourite tree, the Quercus dentata, the Japanese emperor oak. It's a pretty impressive tree. It's got really, really big leaves, so that when, even in spring, the leaves don't fall off until then, until the new growth comes out, apart from the odd few. It grows to about 25 metres in size. This is on the leaves. It's pretty big, you know, compared to your classic kind of oak leaf, you know. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, they're a Japanese native. It's been planted here just as like an amenity tree, just to kind of add some interest, you know, similar to like your red acres and things like that. It's quite an interesting tree to look at. This is quite a small one, but even though it's quite a small tree, you know, it's got pretty big leaves, you know. I think it gets to about a metre wide trunk as well, so it's a pretty hefty one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how the oak grows and seeing if the leaves get any bigger. Hopefully they do, because it'll be even more interesting to look at.
We're in Hyde Park, and this is one of my favourite trees. It's a silver birch, Betula pendula, and I love it because it's just full of loads of cracks because it's all old. It's a really tall growing tree, and as an entomologist, I love how many bugs you can find on the leaves. So you get one particular type of shield bug called a parent bug, and they lay their eggs on this tree and look after their eggs. I just love how many cracks you can see on this old silver birch tree.
So we're in the Queen's Orchard, which is really lovely space in Greenwich Park, quite tucked away at the bottom. And this is the black mulberry tree in the Queen's Orchard. It's such an interesting, old, quite gnarly tree. It's propped up by this huge mound that was put in 2016. The mulberries tend to kind of lean and bend over time. There's a story about Queen Elizabeth I sitting under a black mulberry tree, potentially, in this area of Greenwich, when the Palace of Placenta used to be here. So it's a really fascinating tree with lots of history. I just wonder how much it's seen over time, and it's lovely that we're kind of being introduced to it now, and lots of people are sort of meeting the tree, but it's seen so much more than we have, so I love it.
My name is Felix. I'm the head gardener here at Brunton Cemetery, and this is one of my favourite trees we have on site. Arbutus unido, the strawberry tree, which is unrelated to a strawberry, more closely related to a heather or rhododendron. And I love it for its red fruits and flowers that you get simultaneously this time of year, and beautiful foliage. So why don't you come down and have a look yourself.